Welcome to one of the most colorful cities of Mexico. Welcome to Oaxaca.
Mexicano, nacido en este suelo, en esta hermosa tierra que es mi linda nación.
Oaxaca wins your heart from the first sight. It's the 5th largest city in Mexico, but it feels pretty walkable and moving around is very easy. We spent 5 days exploring this vibrant city and doing a couple of tours from Oaxaca. Some of the favorite places that we visited we will show in this video. The great thing about Oaxaca is that you can spend days walking around and you'll never get bored. Just running into all these cute dolls around the city, beautiful decorations and colorful flags was already so much fun. The weather made our trip even better. It was gorgeous basically every day with a perfect temperature and fresh air. Mexican vibes are everywhere. There was so much culture around. People are very friendly and happy. They would always celebrate something, and this was our favorite thing about Oaxaca. There was always something happening downtown. People are dancing or celebrating some traditions. Our favorite one was the wedding tradition.
Outside. Street art is a big thing in Oaxaca. Lots of streets were very vibrant and it was very exciting to walk around. We literally felt like we were in an outdoor art gallery. All the paintings looked so creative and quite professional. Specifically in Oaxaca, they have a huge Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead festival, that wasn't hard to notice. Walking down a couple of streets, we were amazed how so many buildings were just covered with the Day of the Dead street art. It looked pretty cool. All the streets are colorful, the buildings are colorful. Turn to the random street, you will see art again. I love it. Members in the family.
Welcome to the Choco Mio Choco Frio shop. There were a lot of them down the main plaza and they seemed pretty popular. We were amazed that they have all the equipment to produce their own chocolate. But the main reason we got here is to try their refreshing, cold, sort of chocolate milk
that we saw tons of locals were having around the city. It was more or less like an amplified chocolate milk, but it was rich in flavor and we enjoyed it.
We decided to check out this huge famous food market in Oaxaca. Everything looks so delicious and interesting. I wish I had two stomachs.
Tlayudas, very common to Oaxaca. They call it like a Mexican pizza idea, but the texture is between tostada and tortilla. And of course, quesadillas. Chocolate con leche. This is what we saw almost everyone trying at this market. Bread dipping into the hot chocolate with milk.
Tastes like hot cocoa with cinnamon and maybe cardamom. Reminds me of the culture in Tajikistan, how people dip non-bread into the hot tea, either sweet or just milk tea.
The 20th November market was probably my favorite. It felt pretty much like the place to eat, and it felt very local. It looked like all the Mexicans come here for breakfast. So we really got to experience this authentic taste of Oaxacan atmosphere. And it was super lovely to see random groups of people eating together at a long table.
I like how people sit under these colorful decorations. Cool, right? Like a big family.
Mole y chocolate, another common treat in Oaxaca that is very rich in chocolate and has many variations of flavors.
Chocolatito, chocolate dulce. Chocolate acá.
No, estoy bien, gracias.
Really wants you to try, so.
Estoy bien, gracias.
Gracias.
Comiendo chocolate en Oaxaca.
Ah.
Esa.
Gracias.
Sí, rico.
Muy rico.
Muy rico el chocolate. Sí,
Muchas gracias.
cuando gustes. Adiós.
Adios. This is how they make tortillas. Tortilla press. Easy.
Chapulines, dried grasshoppers, are also very popular and a common snack food in Oaxaca.
It's a huge amount to catch with the net, no?
Agua fresca.
These juices are made with fresh seasonal fruits, often blended whole. If you've ever tried tamarind drink, you'll understand why I like it.
I'm pretty impressed how clean this market is. Definitely had a lovely experience here.
Another market we visited had more of a street market feel. It's called Mercado de Abastos and can be a bit of a fast-paced, energetic, and bustling maze.
It definitely had a few interesting things to look at.
Originally, we wanted to check out this place called Doña Vale that's been featured on a Netflix special for their memelas. But by the time we got there, it was closed.
So we grabbed a bite at this tortas higantes shop.
The prices were very affordable. They did have a lot of orders, and it was worth waiting.
These tortas were fantastic.
Crispy bread, ham and cheese dominate kind of the flavors. It's great.
Here comes a trip to Monte Albán. It was easy to arrange. We just walked to the bus station and bought our tickets here. Arrived to the destination and just walked to the ticket counter. So doing it on your own is very easy and probably half the price of a tour. And then we were off to wander and explore this historical site. So welcome to Monte Albán. It was the biggest and most important pre-Hispanic city in Oaxaca for 13 centuries. The pre-Hispanic groups that lived here were the Zapotecs. While they are not as widely known as the Mayans or Aztecs, the Zapotecs were one of Mesoamerica's oldest, mightiest, and most influential civilizations. Camera and videos can't quite convey how huge Monte Albán is, especially its main plaza. One of the reasons why we liked Monte Albán is because anywhere you go, you will get a stunning view anywhere you look. We were basically on a mountain in the middle of the valley. No wonder why Zapotecs chose this place to have a 360 view of the region. Well, actually it's to watch over any possible invasions, but the stunning views are a bonus. One more thing I can't go silent about is how nice the weather was. It wasn't really hot, it was pleasant, and it made our hiking even more beautiful. Monte Albán was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. I think it deserves it. One characteristic of Monte Albán is the large number of carved stone monuments, the so-called danzantes, literally dancers. But looking more closely, these aren't quite charming depictions of dancers after all. The figures are believed to be leaders from the neighboring towns around Monte Albán, who were captured and offered as sacrifices. There is marked symbolism of the castration of the figures and the collection of blood, perhaps to offer to the gods. Honestly, I'm impressed how old these things are and how well preserved they are here. Cool. Before leaving Monte Albán, we visited the small on-site museum that displays mostly original carved stones from the site and other interesting findings. What's my verdict? Monte Albán was real fun. The night markets are another icon of Mexico. We visited this one a couple of times during our stay. We realized later that it was probably happening during some event or over the weekend, because when we came back the other night, it wasn't there. But we were happy we got to enjoy it before it was gone. Trying some more Mexican street food and buying the chocolate with grasshoppers were the highlights from this market.
Sweet with cinnamon. Nice. Although it's very bright.
Do you make these by yourself though?
Yeah, we make all the process from bean to bar.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have a lot of flavors. We have with coffee, mango, cranberry, plastic. This one is a cacao that only grows here in Mexico. It's actually a white cacao. We have with chili amachito because the Mexican chocolate is made with water and chili. With grasshoppers, cardamom, and a lot more. With coffee, mango with chili is based on a Hispanic drink. With goat milk, mole, of course, we are in Oaxaca, we need a chocolate with mole. There is nothing more Mexican than mole. With taro, banana, fantastic. It's the same chocolate, but with different concentration of cacao. All these are 50% cacao, and this goes from 50 to 80%. It's made with water, of course, and it has 3 chilies, ancho, mulato, and pasilla.
It's
and
great.
you can look the box, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Thank you so much.
Elote en vaso, corn in a cup. This common snack is usually served warm with some seasoning, lime, and hot sauce.
It isn't fancy, but it was my favorite. Before leaving Oaxaca, we did an amazing tour to Mitla and Hierve el Agua. The price was pretty reasonable. It included an amazing buffet that you'll see later in the video and a lovely tour guide. We were also lucky to meet some of the friendliest Mexican ladies who came to visit Oaxaca and ended up on the same tour. The first stop was to check out something incredible. I can't believe this tree is 2,000 years old. Gorgeous.
El Árbol del Tule. This tree is located in the church grounds in the town center of Santa Maria del Tule, approximately 9 kilometers from Oaxaca. And then we arrived to Mitla, the home to some of the most important ruins in Oaxaca. It was the main religious center and a sacred burial site during the Zapotec culture.
Pero eso supuestamente.
The guide explained the religious significance of the architectural design on the walls. But there's too much information, so I'm not going there. Walking around these ruins, though, was pretty cool because they definitely had a vibe of some mysterious ancient town. The mosaic architecture here is still well preserved and beautiful. These mosaics are made with small, finely cut and polished stone pieces that have been fitted together without the use of mortar. They were clearly patient. No other site in Mexico has this decorative work. Well, what can I say? Walking around and through the mazes was a really cool experience. But I wouldn't come to Oaxaca and choose to visit Mitla if it wasn't on this tour. It is a great site and it's interesting, but the final destination you'll see on this tour was my favorite attraction. I did like the cacti here. I think they were amazing, and honestly, I've never seen a cactus my height. Not even these exotic cactus fruits, the prickly pears that Mexicans use for food.
I feel like I'm walking in the cactus garden. I love that they're so tall.
The lunch buffet on this tour was a feast, and it definitely contributed to my appreciation of Mexican food. Quiero probar, pero un poquito. Por favor.
¿Así?
¿Así? Gracias. Friendly Mexicans. They definitely added to the fun on this trip. They were trying to guess where I was from, and it was the first time they heard about my country. It's very common.
No. Soy de Kazajistán.
Tayikistán.
¿De dónde?
Es
Tayikistán.
¿Y de dónde?
un país poquita.
Chiquito. Toca Afganistán.
Y toca China, y toca Uzbekistán, y toca Kirguistán.
Yeah.
The unforgettable destination of this tour was Hierve el Agua, that translates as the water boils. These petrified waterfalls formed over thousands of years. The carbonated water from the springs running off the cliff slowly calcified, creating this magnificent frozen waterfall effect. At the top of Hierve el Agua, we saw a few natural and man-made pools where people are allowed to swim as long as they don't apply the sunscreen. We didn't really want to get wet, so we skipped swimming and walked around taking in this fantastic view. Some of the natural springs form this kind of infinity pool perched at the edge of a cliff that looks out over the beautiful Sierra Madre Mountains. This was Hierve el Agua. I hope you enjoyed it. Something awesome I tried at the end of the tour was nieves, a kind of traditional Oaxacan ice cream. They can be milk-based or water-based with different flavors. Honestly, it brought back some of the best memories from my childhood. Self-made ice cream at home.
Tastes like snow with flavors. It has a clear snow texture.
A couple of words about safety. Oaxaca is a big city, it's very touristy, but throughout our stay, we never felt unsafe here. It doesn't mean we didn't have to be cautious, but whichever places and areas we visited, we never saw anything questionable. Walking on the streets was peaceful even at night. People were just enjoying themselves and having fun. We couldn't leave Oaxaca without trying piedrazo, which means stones or rocks in Spanish. And the dish is as weird as its name.
Just soaking the bread in it, right?
Vinegar, yeah. Just super hard. Which was like, oh, it's cool.
This interesting Oaxacan street food made with dehydrated bread soaked in fruit vinegar and served with pickled onions, carrots, Oaxacan cheese, chili powder, and spicy salsas.
It's no catsup, no?
No, salsa.
I must confess though, it wasn't really favorite for my palate. It's more for those who enjoy highly acidic and spicy foods.
Very sour.
Oaxaca and San Cristobal are amazing. You know, you turn on any random street and you will find things happening there. Street dances, people are having fun, partying. I mean, Mexicans know how to party. And, you know, all those colorful dresses. The streets are basically dressed up. Love all the big dolls everywhere, the flags. Viva Mexico! Viva Oaxaca! Adios!